Well, happy Wednesday, Mission Hills. It's time for a midweek update, and I'm glad I can connect with you this way, middle of the day here on a Wednesday. So God bless you. Listen, maybe we should give you maybe a personal Anderson household update before we look at some other things. This last week, on Monday actually, my wife Geraldine, she celebrated her birthday. I won't tell you which birthday, but she's a lot younger than I am, and that's absolutely apparent and absolutely true. So, happy birthday again to you, honey. I love you very much. And thank you for loving me. But happy birthday. As far as some of our other kids, Nico, he's our 17-year-old, and he's what you might call an online gaming enthusiast. More accurately, an over-the-top fanatic. I mean, he's got his bedroom made out to look like a gaming studio. He's got all this high-tech, super fast computer equipment. He's got special lighting, special microphone. He even has soundproofing foam on his walls, which I can tell you from firsthand experience is an absolute waste. It's absolutely nothing. I can hear him gaming and screaming in his bedroom upstairs, far corner of our house, while I'm in the backyard. So much for the acoustic treatment. But whether it's all that equipment, he's got double monitors and everything. He's a maniac with it. But I recently found out that he now is streaming on a particular platform where other people can come in and watch him compete in his games, but they got to pay a little bit of money in order to watch him. So far, he's making money gaming. And talk about ingenuity, right? So $56, not a lot of money, but at least there's some redeeming factor to all the time he's spending on his computer. Spoken like a father who feels like he's lost a war. Anyways, that's a bit what's going on with Nico. By the way, Nico and his older brother, Tomas, this is actually more concerning. This last week, they notified me that they have taken some interest in online stock trading. Need I say more? So I might be crying out for help in the next few weeks, as the Anderson household might be in some big trouble. I'll keep you posted in terms of the stock trades. And then Tomas, as I mentioned, our older son, Tomas and I actually, this last week, we built a weightlifting rack in our garage, which, yes, that means we've cleaned out our garage enough that now our garage has room for a bunch of weights and a weightlifting rack. So Tomas is happy with that. But as for our garage project, I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, we're still not quite done yet. The garage is not photo worthy, but we're getting closer. And as soon as it is photo worthy, I guarantee you, because I'm going to be very proud about it, I'm going to take many pictures to show you what great strides we've made in cleaning up the Anderson garage. So that's a bit of what's happening in our lives. In terms of church construction, they're continuing this, of course. This picture here that you're seeing now is taken from the flat roof of the offices up in the front of the property and looking back along the side, as you can see, along what used to be our children's rooms. And they're very soon, over that long strip of dirt, going to be putting a brand new beautiful walkway. So that's happening soon. And then next week I'll send you some more pictures, or maybe a video clip of the offices. The drywall is now delivered, as well as the insulation. They're not putting it up yet, but I think that'll happen toward the end of next week, and maybe I can get some footage for you by next Wednesday. So that's a bit with the construction. We're cruising along. But more importantly than anything, I was thinking about Jonah. Yeah, that's right, the prophet Jonah from the Old Testament. Famous Jonah, in the belly of the fish Jonah. And I was reminded that God has a way of making his will and his ways very clear and apparent. Jonah, as you know, he was not just hesitant to share God's message with the Ninevites as God instructed him to. He was flat out disobedient and refused to share God's message with the Ninevites. So he pays money to board a ship that's headed in the opposite direction to Tarshish. And God said, no you don't, and through a storm made that boat come about. And then by way of water taxi, if that's what you want to call a big fish, by way of water taxi, he ended up getting Jonah exactly where he wanted him, spit up onto the sandy shore of Nineveh. So God got his way. Well, likewise, in the simplest and in the clearest of terms, right? God has called us. God's called us to share his message with those that we know. And I think in particular with our neighbors and our co-workers, the people we spend the most time with. God's called us to do the same. And you are like me, and I am like you. We are at times resistant to do that. And maybe even at times we flat out refuse, right? We're just not just hesitant, we completely ignore God's call. That's probably not so true of you, but it can happen to all of us, right? And what I think we're discovering is that God also has his way of making sure we focus on what he's called us to, just as he did with Jonah. Maybe not in the belly of a big fish, I hope not. But think about the coronavirus. What has happened as a result? God has given us more time where? Matter of fact, we have to spend more time at home than we ever have before. It's been mandated. And while things are loosening up a little bit, perhaps here in the not too distant future, what has God done? He's planted us at home more time than we've ever been. So lean into your opportunities. Lean into your opportunities to tell people of God's love, to share about Jesus Christ, right? And I know that we can all feel hesitant and be resistant even. But I think sometimes that's not just it's not like we're bad people, although I can be, and I'm sure you can be as well. But it's not, let me say it this way. It's sometimes just because we're lacking confidence on what to say and how to say it. Or there's just flat out fear. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't know what's going to happen. So fear and a lack of confidence play a large role, a central role, I think, in the way the enemy keeps us from paying attention to what God's called us to do. And so we can end up being like Jonah without starting out wanting to be. So there's help on the way, though. There's help on the way. Mark down this date in your calendar. Thursday, May 14th. Thursday, May 14th at 7 p.m. on a Zoom conference call, I'll be leading a workshop. It's a workshop, it's a training on how to begin spiritual conversations with our neighbors and our co-workers. How to begin to dialogue about God and life and ultimately about the truth of Jesus Christ. And you'll receive, if you join me, right, we're going to actually do it for 4 consecutive Thursday nights for 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m., starting May 14th, 4 consecutive Thursday nights. And I will give you tools that you can practice during our time together, but also then immediately apply as God continues to give you opportunities to share Christ, all right? Now, this training is called Fruitfulness on Your Front Line. What a better thing to do, right? As God sort of has us planted at home in our neighborhoods. Or for some of you who are already able to go back to work, you're planted at work in probably some new and unique ways. So please be a part of that. I'd love to be with you. So you'll hear more about it. To register, just go to the church website. Go to the events tab at the top of the home page. When you go to the events page, it'll then give you a bunch of different dates and events. Just scroll down to the May 14th date, and next to it you'll see Fruitfulness on Your Front Line. Hit that. It'll have a very simple form that pops up. There's no fee. Just put your name and a couple pieces of information, and you will be registered. All right? Sound good? Wonderful. Well, I was thinking about Jonah. And as I got thinking about Jonah, I also started thinking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, as I'm sure many of you know, was a German pastor and theologian during the Third Reich. He was a very outspoken at points. It came to be very outspoken opponent to the Nazi regime and the slaughter of children and the slaughter and genocide of Jews and others in the World War II German concentration camps, for which he was then thrown in prison in 1943 for a year and a half. And in 1945, he was actually hanged. He was executed for his position in favor of Christ and in opposition to the Nazi regime. So he was a martyr for Jesus Christ. It was actually 75 years ago this month. It would have been on April the 9th, 1945, that he was hanged for his faith in Christ. An amazing leader, an amazing believer. This is what he had to say about the Christian church. I think it applies for today. The church is the church only when it exists for others, not dominating, but helping and serving. It must tell men of every calling what it means to live for Christ and to exist for others. He goes on to say, God loves human beings. God loves the world. Not an ideal human, but human beings as they are. Not an ideal world, but the real world. What we find repulsive in their opposition to God, what we shrink back from with pain and hostility, this is for God the ground of unfathomable love. Wow. How true for us today. Listen, lean in to the relationships you have at home. Lean in to those relationships that you have at the workplace. And God has given you opportunities. All right? And then join us on May 14th for fruitfulness on your front line. Then lastly, let me just say, tonight we have our weekly prayer meeting from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can join on that Zoom prayer meeting call. The link is in the email you received to get this midweek update. And then also, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We continue in the book of Romans. We'll be in chapter 4 as we continue to see all that God has for us in this beautiful, beautiful book. As we've entitled the series, God's Good News for the Whole World. God loves you very much. So do I. You have a great day today.